This is Eye on Hong Kong with Key.
And this is Harminder, and we'll be discussing the top news for the week involving Hong Kong and China. And welcome to Eye on Hong Kong. Merry Christmas, Key.
Merry Christmas.
This is Christmas week coming up, so to everybody out there, Merry Christmas. I know that's not politically correct, but I don't care. All right, so this week, even though we should be in a festive mood, we have
a lot of shopping to do.
Well, I hope you got your Christmas shopping done. We have a lot of what a friend of ours, Lee, likes to call cretins, have come out of the woodwork and are trying to rein in the parade, as they say. Okay, so we got a top Beijing official, Zheng Rongshun. I'm sure I'm butchering the name because I don't.
Who's that?
He's vice chairman of the Legislative Affairs Commission under the National People's Congress Standing Committee.
Okay. I have no idea who they are, actually.
A long, pretentious title. All right. So he says that we need re-enlightenment. Re-enlightenment to give citizens a better understanding of the one country, two systems policy. Now, the problem is when communists say re-enlightenment, I'm worried I'm going to be put on a train heading north into a labor camp.
Or concentration.
Because that's known as re-education.
Yeah, but when we talk about enlightenment, and I couldn't help thinking of French Revolution. Then it's more like the enlightenment that I thought it should be.
Do you mean I confusing that with Renaissance?
Yeah. I mean the Renaissance, and then you have the French Revolution, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's more like really try to make people become smarter and to believe in reason.
Well, the problem is when they say re-enlightenment, they mean reinterpretation. They mean whatever we say is the truth.
It seems that it's completely the opposite of the true meaning of enlightenment. I mean,
this is actually proved that communists cannot help but micromanage everything. It's in their nature.
How? But the
initial, because you and I have been in Hong Kong during the whole handover talks from the 80s all the way to 97. Okay, the entire spirit of it seemed to be that, look, we're just taking you back. Defense and foreign affairs we take care of, totally reasonable. Okay, you guys pretty much are left on your own. Your own way. We'll only be there, just to get some reports. Anything we don't like, we will tell you publicly, and then we'll have a discussion. Everything seemed very rational. Right,
before they get it.
Of course. But then again, governments change as well. I mean, I would say that the Xi Jinping regime is a lot more, like I said, micromanaged, hard line than say the Hu Jintao, even before that the Jiang Zemin regimes.
Yeah, I agree. It seems that before they are more tolerant.
Yes.
And it seems that they try to give more time. Oh, maybe you guys, you Hong Kong people, just came back to your motherland, and then okay, we give you more time to adjust to our way. But now they seems that they lose their temper, they lose their patience.
A lot. And I think the thing is that the first time we saw what we would consider interference violating the one country, two systems policy was the 1999 ruling of the right of abode.
Sure.
The government, the Tung Chee-hwa government in its stupidity didn't like the ruling and said, here, National People's Congress, give us what we want. When they should have accepted the ruling. That's what the Court of Final Appeal said.
Right.
Of course, a lot of people didn't like that ruling.
True.
Okay, don't get me wrong, but you have to respect the court's order. Right there, things went downhill with the relations. And it was only 2 years in. I expected 20 years in at the time.
Right.
Back in the mid-90s. I was still young, but I thought, well, if China does anything bad, it might not be for a long time because they don't want to ruin this new relationship.
Right. Wow.
And then 2003. I mean, I'm talking about milestones here of strained relations. It's 2003, 2007. 2011 and 12. I mean, it's been horrible because it's really poor decisions.
And you just talk about that China PRC will only have the power to take care of Hong Kong's foreign affairs and military affairs. But it seems that Maria Tam this week, she doesn't agree with that too.
Right.
She said it's not only that PRC can interfere with Hong Kong.
Right. And Maria Tam also said that that the joint declaration is also it was China that made the pledge of 50 years unchanged Hong Kong policy. Only it was their declaration only. It had nothing to do with England. They have no moral duty and all this stuff. I mean, they're rewriting history. Raymond Tam, the constitutional affairs minister, is also saying that it's fulfilled. The joint declaration was fulfilled. Look, I don't know who they're pandering to,
right?
But people who can rub two brain cells together, and I actually read this document, okay? And I read the English version. People who read the Chinese version. There's not much difference at all. It's clear the language is that this treaty does not end at 97 July 1st. It never said that. Okay,
no such term.
Nor did it say it ends in 50 years. But the spirit of it was that it is a joint declaration that will fulfill its duty at 2047.
Right.
Okay. And it was lodged with the United Nations. Okay. It's in their vault, as they say. And they're now trying to rewrite history and rewrite language and rewrite interpretations.
It's just like they have the power to interpret the law of Hong Kong as well.
Rule by law, not rule of law, it seems, right?
Yeah, it's whatever the way that they like, they interpret it the way they like. So
exactly. I mean, not everybody's taking it lying down. Lau Siu Kai of the he was a former government think tank, civic something. I'm sorry, I don't remember. He is the vice president of the Chinese Association of Hong Kong and Macau Studies. Okay, great. He said, that that he rejected that it ended on July 1st, 1997.
Right.
He said that the agreement seemed to be that Britain did have a role to play beyond 97.
Right.
Okay. So
finally someone saying something sensible.
Because when you make ridiculous statements like, oh, sorry, it's over, when it clearly doesn't say that, you have to call a spade and call out something rotten, And speaking of rewriting, reinterpreting, what as they see fit, David Webb, who's a investor activist in Hong Kong, noticed that on the Basic Law fact sheet, you can go to the Basic Law's website, the English version said in 2013, quote, "The Basic Law is a constitutional document for the HKSAR. It enshrines within a legal document the important concepts of one country, two systems, a high degree of autonomy, and, key phrase, Hong Kong people ruling Hong Kong." All right. Then he noticed that in the website today, in 2014, it now states, quote unquote, "The Basic Law is a constitutional document for the HKSAR. It enshrines within a legal document the important concepts of one country, two systems, Hong Kong people administering Hong Kong, and a high degree of autonomy." Hong Kong people ruling Hong Kong has now changed to Hong Kong people administering Hong Kong. You're a lawyer. Words mean...
Why you point at me like that?
You're a lawyer. Words mean everything in law. Okay?
I was just about to ask you, what's the difference between that? Ruling and administration.
You're actually asking me? I'm going to ask you.
Well, I would say that when you say you are the ruler, and then it seems that you are the one who in charge of everything. Right. But you say that you are only administering something that you don't really have the power, you just given the power to.
Right.
It's just my understanding.
Well,
of the simple words.
Anybody who's gone through at least primary 6 education can tell the difference. Okay, that ruling Hong Kong, people ruling Hong Kong means we pretty much have control of our own affairs. Pretty much all of it, except for a few things that were laid out. And administering Hong Kong, that means only whatever we tell you can do, even outside of foreign affairs and defense.
Right. It's
so the incremental, changing of history, reinterpretation, revisionism, and that's what the Cultural Revolution apparently was all about, is revising history and going against certain principles. That's what the communists are doing.
I totally
and their
agree.
surrogates here.
I totally agree. That's what they're doing here.
And there's sycophants like Raymond Tam and Maria Tam who are now, BSing their way through with this. I mean, who are they pandering to, really? Who are they really trying to come out with a straight face and say, nope, that's not what all of that meant. This is what it now means.
It's quite funny that before they would, just hide behind the wall, and sometimes they would try to test us, but they wouldn't say this so upright to our face. But now they would do it. I find it quite surprised.
Before CY Leung, the Communist Party and their office in the liaison office out in Western, they were very hands off, or they were very subtle, or they were very not in your face.
Right.
The gloves are off now.
Yeah.
Now they're in your face. Now they're not afraid to say, we are here. Where before, it was like so taboo to say, oh, no, the Communist Party is not here.
Yeah, they would say, one country, two systems.
Yeah, one country, two systems. They have nothing. They have nothing. Now they're like, no, we're here.
Yeah,
the white paper affirmed that.
Yeah, they actually say that one country always before the two systems.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And it absolutely scares the hell out of me.
I agree. Yeah.
It's scary.
But don't you think that is quite a coincidence that all these government officials saying something about ruling Hong Kong, administrating Hong Kong, and or it seems that they try to reinterpret the joint declaration, but at the same time, quite a lot of Hong Kong people this week they went to the Parliament of UK to give evidence. Not only 2 students, and also the vice chairman of the League of Socialists,
Social Democrats,
Social Democrats, and then they also went to the UK Parliament to give evidence how the joint declaration was not actually implemented.
The editor of SCMP was also there as well. Yeah. Okay, you're right. It wasn't just them.
It seems that I somehow feel that it is because some Hong Kong people trying to seek help from UK, and then they try to try to eliminate UK from playing any role.
It's nice to air their grievances, but I don't expect anything from the UK side. We're on our own, to be honest. We had there was an article in EJ Insight where Margaret Ng, former legislator of the law functional constituency, she said that when she spoke with Governor Yude, who was before David Wilson, so the Patton, Wilson, Yude, fortunately died in office. He pretty much said that he tried to reaffirm with her that the joint declaration is here to affirm China's promises and Britain's promise to oversee it. That's how she got it from him, and that's how it was until this last week. Now everything is now being changed, and then you have hardcore CCP members like Chen Zhao coming out saying that, stoking this nationalist nonsense, of the British were cowards during World War II defending Hong Kong, and they ran from here. Okay.
It's not true.
If you read the history, okay, this is how it goes down. you had an overwhelming force of Japan coming at Hong Kong. Britain's tiny garrison was here. And it wasn't just British. It was British, Canadian, Indian, and locals all fighting together to defend Hong Kong, okay? Japan had just bombed Pearl Harbor.
Right.
And pretty much the next day it was on to Hong Kong. It's very surprising that it moved that fast. They held out for 19 days, I think.
I don't quite remember.
But seriously, an overwhelming force. They sustained it. And they just kept trying and trying and trying. Thousands died. If they were real cowards, they would have left that day. But of course, Japan bombed the Kai-Tak airport that morning. But still, they could have left on their boats. But no, the governor was captured. He was tortured. He was sent to labor camps all around China and came back, and his health was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Well, what did the communists do?
What did they do? They were apparently in Guangzhou
I don't remember.
with guerrilla tactics. But why didn't you come into Hong Kong to defend it then? Anybody?
They're too busy.
Revising history once again. This is going to be, and now it's. I told you, 90% of all conflicts is an information war, and this is how it starts. All right. We must fight tooth and nail against this BSing of history, okay? And this is how it starts. They're going to send these surrogates after Hong Kong and revise history and everything like that, okay? I'm sorry, when you read history, I don't see any PRC people buried out in what's that place where they
in
Chater Garden over there.
And
where they bury the war dead.
Right.
They honor in them. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the memorial. The
memorial, but the name eludes me right now. But anyways, there are no names there. They didn't defend it. The British fought gallantly with what they had, and many were put into prison camps.
Yeah, I find it quite funny that they hand out these PLC flag out outside the charter.
Yeah, that made no sense to me either. I mean, it has nothing to do with the PRC.
Completely nothing to do with
Not even the nationalists, okay? It had nothing to do with the mainland whatsoever. The only flags that should be there are British, Canadian, and Hong Kong.
Right, I agree.
That's it. Because the Indians that were fighting here were under the British Raj, so I guess that counts. But that's it. But whatever, that's a whole different debate. And then you have... I'll say this. Wang Guangya, who is the director of the Hong Kong Macau Affairs Office, said that Hong Kong needs to contemplate its relationship with the mainland. A very sensible statement.
I agree. Okay.
He's not blatantly coming out and saying, "You bad children, how dare you upset your mother," which is basically what everybody else is saying. Okay, he's saying, that even, and then that's a sensible statement. Then you got C.Y. Leung saying that you have to decide, what do you want? You want democracy or you want rule of law? Because you can't have democracy or rule of law. You mean rule by law. There's a difference. This is the other thing they're starting to do.
To change that rule of law to rule by law.
Yes.
I think it's quite confusing terms in Chinese, because in Chinese both the same. It's fazi. They're trying to confuse these two terms in English, but with Chinese word, because they're the same Chinese character. But
English is clear.
English is quite clear, but in Chinese it's fazi. But actually, when we have to say rule of law, then we will say 法治精神 is the spirit, is the idea. But then if you just say 法治, it really means that the rule by the law. So they try to confuse people with these kind of terminologies in Hong Kong now.
And people have to watch out for that. They really do. Because rule of law is not rule by law. Okay? Rule by law is what happens in China, the mainland. Okay? Rule by law.
Oh, they rule by man.
Well, it's rule by the party. Rule by the Politburo Standing Committee and the NPC that rubber stamps everything. All right? That's not what we have here. At least until 2047.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I was telling you that the communists are now completely naked in their presence in Hong Kong? We had the Reuters report saying that Hong Kong's Democrats are being spied on by members of the Chinese security agencies.
Yeah.
We had James To, who revealed that he was being followed by men in silver Mercedes. Okay, and when they were confronted, the police were like, yes, they were following you and they were part of the agency and all that, but we can't arrest them.
Why not? They're intruding the privacy.
True,
of...
they have to, one, and two, they have to tell Hong Kong police whatever they're doing. They have to tell them. Okay, they can't just operate here without any acknowledgement to the Hong Kong police. Thing is that retired Hong Kong police are helping them.
Well, very suspicious.
So, I mean, pro-Beijing Hong Kong retired police are helping them. About 20 of them is what the report said. And the thing is that they're covering for them when they have to. They're giving them the information that they need that the mainland security agencies can't get. It's now turned into a all-out.
Right.
You know, you would think isn't it funny that you're being spied on by your own country? I mean, does that sound like a free country to you?
Well, first of all, it's not my country, so second of all,
in the context of one country, two systems, okay? Let's put it that way.
Well,
not what your personal opinion is.
I don't know this country, so it's not surprising. I think it's quite. They should expect it, the pandemic. They should have known it.
Yeah.
The thing is that a lot. We actually find that my personal experience is that they usually don't use any secure communications in Hong Kong. I think they should really think about that now. I
see legislators holding Android and iPhones, and I'm like, that's so easy to hack.
Right.
You know.
True.
We had a report this week from can't remember who it was. Could have been Guardian. I'm not sure, but it was talking about how the United States SS7 cell network is completely open, where all your text messages and your voice calls are open for anybody, because the technology is from the 1980s. There's loopholes galore. So imagine what's happening here. I mean, they move into the new 3G digital voiceover. It'll be better, more secure. But it's time to really stop thinking about the apps of your phone and think more about your security. And there are now phones that can help you, such as BlackBerry and Black Phone and all these new technologies that are coming out. I mean, Boeing just came out with their own phone because they want the absolute secure phone that they can get, because they know that it's open to spying from many governments. Right. So they do need to watch their back, as they say, and take self-defense classes. You never know when you might need it. We got the biggest corruption trial in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Finally ended.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. I've been following it since then. I didn't really want to comment because it was just regurgitating what was happening in court. Now we can say that Raphael Hui, the former chief secretary of Hong Kong under the Donald Tsang administration, is now going to prison, most likely, because he was convicted of taking bribes. Thomas Kwok, not Raymond Kwok, who was also convicted of providing money to Raphael Hui and two of Thomas Kwok's close aides and people worked there at Sun Hung Kai, and Thomas Kwok was acquitted.
And Kwok's family is one of the four biggest property tycoons.
Yeah, one of the billionaires. They're known around the world. I mean, they're very, very, very popular and rich. But I commend the ICAC for bringing this case forward. It still gives me a lot of faith, but it's still tainted because of Timothy Tong. That man should be in court, being convicted, being given a fair trial, and going through what he had done, which from the eyes of the public is wine and dine mainland officials on public money. So that's good, but that was bad. So that's it. I guess finally we can just talk about the Occupy since it's over. 1.2 million people apparently took part in it, according to a poll by the Hong Kong Economic...
That's quite large.
Not Hong Kong Economic Journal. By the Center for Communication and Public Opinion Survey at Chinese U.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. That is quite a lot. So...
it's just the beginning?
I mean, they're starting with new tactics. pay your public rental money for your public housing late on the last day.
Yeah.
Not late, meaning the last day.
Yeah.
Write checks for your tax returns at $6.89 or $689.
Yeah.
689.
Representing the votes
Yes.
that Siwalan got.
Yes. I mean, all that.
Well, I think it's just more like child game.
Yeah, I don't find it very serious. That's not civil disobedience. It's kind of just. I mean, you're attacking a civil service that's not overall bad.
Oh, wow.
How does it affect CY Leung?
Hmm.
It doesn't. So I'm not on board. Give me something better.
Shopping.
Gao's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll take shopping.
I just came by here by MTL, and then we just have this TV on the MTL, and then I saw that Carrie Lam, and she says that people should go on and do more shopping. I think I will, follow what she said.
I've been to Mongkok a few times. And since we got a little bit of time, we do have time for this story. The Alliance for Peace and Democracy. Spokesperson Stanley notice they put him forward and Robert Chow's suddenly not available these days. He says that Hong Kong police are not pushovers and we have the People's Liberation Army. Aren't you the good patriot? And that aggressive youngsters should be abandoned by Hong Kong.
Interesting. They always like to abandon any young people here. I mean, usually young people, they are more radical, though.
Sure. They got the strength and gusto.
Yeah.
But still, you want to just abandon them? What do you think? They'll just crawl
Exile
into a hole
them.
and die? Yeah, you're gonna exile them to where? Chung Chao, and like make that a leper island for pro-democracy people? What's wrong with these people? Nut jobs.
Did you say we are like this with saying the someone making this deport the American and then welcome the new immigrants?
Yeah, somebody.
Maybe Hong Kong should do that too.
I'm telling you, we got to do that survey where you would say, should we deport pro-democracy people and only allow in like fresh off the boat PRC people? See how many people would sign that, because in the States people were signing petitions saying, should we get rid of the American citizens and allow illegals instead? And people were signing it. Yes. Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
But when you read the reason why they said is everybody should be given a chance to have the American dream. So everybody should be given a chance to have the Hong Kong dream.
The new Hong Kong dream seems to be whatever government vomits into your mouth. That is the new. That should be the new flag. Actually, is CY Leung and a child under him, mouth open with him just going bleh, right into their mouth. That is the new.
That's
Hong
rather
Kong,
jackass. It's like jackass video.
Yeah. Basically, it's what it's turning into. It's you watch Lechko, it's like a 3-ring circus. You know.
That's disgusting.
No, it's the truth.
Wow. Okay.
It's the truth. That's what they're trying to do. They just want to vomit into our mouths whatever they say is the truth.
Sometimes I think these government officials they do have their mouth diarrhea.
I told you. So I wasn't wrong.
Like Andy Zhang today, he says that the police officer that they were treating our people like
the students.
Treating the students like we're the mother.
And there are children.
Oh my God! I mean,
seriously, that's what it's starting. They're literally taking motherland to a new extreme where they're saying, "We give you everything. We give you your food, your water, your housing, your health, your freedom, your civil liberties, everything. It's decreed by us."
Oh
no, I'm a human being. I have my own rights that government hasn't given me. It's just naturally what I'm given. It's just. It's reaffirmed in a way.
I think they still lived in this Asian Chinese society, thinking that the government officials, that the mother and the citizens are only children, so they have to rule on the children and to look after the children. No, we're not. We're citizens.
No, we're children.
Yeah, right.
I mean, literally, that's like we're children that need to be coddled by the government now. I mean, imagine back in the 60s, the 70s, it was all about government's not here to help you, you help yourself. Those days seem to be gone. Anyways, we'll be back in the second half. We have a special guest. We have Audrey Yu, the chairperson of the Civic Party here, and we'll be discussing pretty much all of this with her to get her view on all of this crazy stuff coming out. So stick around.